I'm Alison Clarke. I'm a coaching psychologist and I help people find the hero inside themselves. So here we are in Belfast, in front of the world famous cranes of the Harland and Wolff shipyard where the Titanic was built. In the last little clip we had a look at the difference between what we conveniently think of as reality and in fact what we experience in this purely personal, subjective way is perception. So when they were building Titanic, on a wave of enthusiasm for this fantastic project, when it was built, it was the biggest passenger liner of its kind. It was the most luxurious. It really was the pinnacle of perfection. And they genuinely did believe it was unsinkable. But in many respects, it was their own sense of the project, their perceptions of the project that led them to believe it was unsinkable. They didn't check that the bulkheads that were going to keep the water going from one section to another actually were going to do that, and that is ultimately what brought the ship down. And life is a bit like that. We become blinded to what we cannot see when we live through our perceptions that we created however long ago in our lifetimes. That exists for us as reality, and when we're locked onto that as reality, we have difficulty seeing things in any other way, especially if we find ourselves a little bit challenged by the circumstances in which we live, which is a fact of life for many people, most of the time in fact. And in that way then we're left not so much acting in the face of circumstances as reacting in the face of circumstances, denied the freedom to choose from a whole palette of responses. So as a consequence of living through unexamined perceptions, undistinguished whether they're telling us the truth or otherwise, we end up as human beings reacting out of old perceptions that we've stored up over a lifetime, and without the freedom to act independently of all of those old programs that are running us. So that's what I do when I work with my clients. I help them to distinguish the difference between the version of reality that the perceptions of a lifetime have delivered to them, and to release them from the autopilot that has them driven by, such that they're free to choose from the widest possible range of alternatives, including many that they've never even thought of before in their lives. And that's how we get the results, and they experience themselves as heroes. If you're interested in finding out more, please have a look in the description box for ways to get in touch.